Libra, welcome to your weekly tarot reading. Let's get started and see what messages we have for Libra. Sun, moon, and rising positions for the week ahead. Keeping in mind these are general readings and may not resonate for everyone. So make sure to check out your other placements because you could have messages there. And if you would like a personal reading, have a look at the description box. You can send me an email and we can get that done for you if you'd like. Okay, my friends, let's get started. For Libra, what is the current energy around Libra? Ten of Swords. 10 of Wands, Libra. On your back is your current energy. Something is not sustainable here. Something is too heavy to keep carrying around. Now, you grew these wands, so they are your crops, but you might even be questioning what you're growing them for in the first place right now, even though you've just collected your harvest. Seeing this card in the reversed is sort of this energy that's not sustainable. You can't keep doing this because it doesn't feel like it's serving you anymore. This isn't just, I'm tired because I've had a busy season growing these wands. This is like questioning, what am I doing? Right? This is a deeper question than just, oh, it's been a difficult season and I'm looking forward to the end of this season where I can get a little rest so that I can start again in this meaningful process that I'm on. This feels the opposite. It feels like you're questioning the meaning behind something and you're questioning whether or not you should continue to do it. And it's interesting because the 10 of Wands in reverse as your current energy tells me you're exhausted. Number one, and that you're taking on too much. You've got to free yourself from something here, and that you may be close to a successful outcome, but you have to prioritize yourself to see that, and you need to keep going, but maybe in a different direction or in a different way. Like, this isn't a card that says call it a day and don't look back. This is keep going, but do it in a way that's sustainable. King of Swords on the bottom of the deck, guiding you to be flexible in your perception here, to really look at something and make a decision about the direction in a way that feels well thought out, and also that you're being flexible with this. But the immediate energy I got from this card was that you've got to do something differently because it's not sustainable the way it is now. And you're exhausted. Those are the two things that I picked up on right away. Let's see what the obstacle is here. What is the obstacle? Justice. So interesting that this is your card, Libra, the Justice card. And so I think you're trying to be fair and you're trying to keep things in balance. And as a result, you might be paying the ultimate price by sacrificing yourself, right? Justice as an obstacle tells me that you're maybe doing too much and you're burning you're burning your wands at both ends, and that's not sustainable because ultimately, that kind of thing isn't sustainable. I understand that you're trying to keep things in balance and you're trying to be fair, but I think you might have to look at how this is affecting you as well. Like, you might have to add that to your thought process, is that your ability to keep going is a big factor. Don't leave that out, right? Let's see here. What's on the surface here? Okay, relationships. 3 of Cups. There may be some relationships in your life that you feel are, it's interesting. I feel like these relationships on the surface are your people. And there may be things in these relationships that lead you to celebrate moments in your life. And, this may be a time where leaning on your people would serve you, right? Seeing these 3 of Cups on the surface at a time where you might be trying to balance too many things. You've got way too much going on. You're trying to balance too many things. And the balance is actually the obstacle. So by not trying to balance things out, you might actually see that you can do things in a different way where you achieve balance, but it's not by balancing out the needs of everyone at the table. I really feel like seeing the Three of Cups is saying you might need to lean on people for support right now because you have to focus on yourself. You might not be able to please everyone, Libra. You might not be able to please everyone, but at the most you have to sort of take care of you, because if you have no energy to stand, then that's over. Then you've removed yourself as being a part of the process permanently. Do you know what I mean? Like if you are too exhausted to be of use or to be functioning, to be effective, that's the word I was looking for. If you're too exhausted to be functional and effective, then you're not serving any of those people anyway. So you have to make sure that you put your, that expression on, it sounds funny to say it in this day and age now, but to put your mask on first before you help others with their mask, or else you're going to pass out. There's not enough oxygen then. So I feel like seeing the Three of Cups is saying support. You can have support from people. Ask for help. Are you open to asking for help? Are you even receptive to being helped? You might not be. You might think you have to do everything on your own. And I think we're seeing the Three of Cups here because there are people that love you, that want to help you. They care about you, and they want to help. They want to support. They're your people. So it's interesting. Let's see what's driving this reading for Libra. What's on the bottom here? The Page of Swords in reverse. So there may be a situation here for you where you have identified a potential solution, but you haven't put it into action. The Page of Swords, to me, all the pages are messengers. So what is this messenger sending you as far as a message? It feels like he's sending you the message of don't be all talk and no action. And I don't mean to trigger anyone when I say that, but sometimes we are all talk, no action. You know what I mean? Sometimes we have so much depleted energy that we can't take action on the things that we know we need to. So I get it. Like I totally feel you. We're seeing the Ten of Wands in reverse with this page, you've gone too past far your own limit. And now it's like you can't put action behind your words because I feel like you're exhausted. So right now, it's very important in this message from this page here to remain open to unexpected lessons and sort of allow things to fall into place when it comes to receiving and being receptive to help and support. And then you might have the strength to put action behind your words, because it almost feels like there are mirrors everywhere trying to reflect back at you these signs that say, hey, we actually have to do something about this. It's not sustainable. And you may have friends saying that to you too. You might be receiving signs all around you, and there might actually be people in your life saying these words to you. And that ultimately, if you keep walking down this path in this way, it's not sustainable. You will fall down because you don't have the energy to keep going in this manner anymore, is what I'm seeing. And when I say fall down, I just mean in terms of a metaphor. I don't actually mean that you're going to fall down. But, seeing the High Priestess in reverse is telling me that you're holding a lot of stuff in. And those things that you're holding in, they're going to come out one way or another. And it feels to me like the path you're on right now is not sustainable as is. And that your higher self may be trying to guide you and you might not be listening. Your friends may be trying to guide you, but you may not be listening. There may be signs and synchronicities trying to guide you, but guess what? You may not be listening. And I feel like you're not listening in part because there's a part of you that's like, no, I got this. And then there's another part of you that's just so exhausted, you don't know what's going on or how to keep going because you've gone too far into the exhaustion. Exhaustion? You're too exhausted, right? Let's see, what's the highest guidance for Libra? King of Pentacles. So seeing the King of Pentacles as your guidance says to me, it's time to balance out what's going on. You can't keep moving in a direction that's not sustainable and expect results that are optimal. Okay? Let me say that again. You can't keep moving in a direction that's not sustainable and at the same time expect optimal results, right? So when we see the King of Pentacles, we are being guided here to matters of this sort of confident leader who, through personal growth, has reached this sort of prosperous and successful place of providing for others. So the guidance here is like, if you want to provide for others, like I think you do, you know, I feel like you really do want to manage some situations and provide for others in your life, meaningful people. If you want to do that, then the way to do it is through determination, patience, and balance that is sustainable. And then you will start to see the potential, because you'll be able to actually breathe for a minute here. I can't help but think that you've overwhelmed yourself by trying to do everything alone for everyone else and not being receptive or open to support and help from others. And in order to provide for others, you need to allow others to help you. You can't do it all alone, Libra. And I know you may think that you can, and saying that you can't do it all alone is not a defeat or a failure. I feel like I need to say that you can enjoy challenges and overcoming challenges, but you have to have that strength within. And I feel like right now you've depleted your strength. It's not at an optimal level when I see it at the 10 of Wands. Let's see what the potential outcome is here. Page of Cups. Yeah, it's time for some renewed energy here. Page of Cups is another page sending you more messages, right? The pages are our messengers. And this message seems to have to do with sort of coming to terms with situations that just don't move forward in an optimal way, because the 5 of Swords is here on the bottom of the deck with the 6 of Cups behind it. So that makes me feel like there's some past situation that's, you know, it started in the past. It's not a past situation, but it started in the past. And there's things about it that you just resent. You resent. So you're trying to do it all by yourself and you're depleting your energy. It's depleting, and you're not optimized right now to be of service to others, even though that's your goal. So if anything, you're needing to be open and receptive to the support of others at this time, because ultimately you need a break. It feels like you need a break, and that things are not in balance right now for that opportunity for you to take a break. The Page of Cups is guiding you to sort of this time of being renewed and this idea of flourishing again in an optimal way. And I feel like we're seeing the Page of Cups as your potential outcome, because right now you might think that this is a dream, that this is totally unrealistic. You might be thinking to yourself, yeah, right, as if I'm going to get a new beginning that's rejuvenating and full of renewal, and that I'm going to actually receive this magic and synchronicity. Yeah, right. You know, when pigs fly is sort of what I'm hearing you say back. Like, that's so not going to happen. And it's interesting because I think that it's ultimately that you're so at a place right now where everything you've seen and experienced has confirmed to you this time of resentment, where things have gone too far in some direction that you can't possibly imagine them becoming renewed, you know? And that, I think, really does happen when we've gone too far in a direction that doesn't serve us, and we push and push and push, and then we fall down. So it's hard for us to imagine this renewal because we're on the ground and we're covered in wands that are heavy, that we've been growing with our own energy, and we're depleted. I'm really sensing that depleted vibe here, Libra. So, oh, interesting. That card definitely wanted to come out. Let's keep him out, but I'm going to shuffle. But that card has something to say. Let's shuffle and see what is the highest guidance here for Libra. In addition to that chop wood card, new life in reverse, which is really very interesting because of that Page of Cups. Bottom of the deck is Thinker, card 44. So you have card 39, 42, and 44. I really feel like you're moving towards something here, Libra. Now, let's start with Chop Wood, because that card just sort of flipped out of the deck without us even shuffling. So I feel like there's a message there for you. This card, my friends, is about being grounded in your everyday experiences with this sort of idea of humility. In that idea that, you know, even mundane acts like washing the dishes, sweeping the floor, making yourself breakfast, enjoying the sound of the birds, looking at the sun, watching the clouds move. You know, this idea of engaging in everyday tasks as a meditative way to clear your energy can really help optimize things after a time of feeling depleted. Okay, this is very interesting because it's really guiding you to let your heart remember that not everything has to be hard won. You know what I mean? It doesn't always have to be obviously meaningful to have meaning. Sometimes the everyday tasks that we do hold so much ability in helping us shift into being present and mindful and grounded. You know, I really feel like the idea of really being connected to your day, instead of feeling like you have to take on so much in order to feel like you're effective. All you have to do is just sort of focus on the tasks of your day in a way that feels like all will be well. You know what I mean? And there's sort of this idea that now is the time for you to take small steps instead of large leaps. Okay, because it feels like you could really create some renewal and rejuvenated energy here if you move your focus off your big dream and put your focus on just the day. Just the day. You know, instead of putting so much on your back that you feel so overwhelmed and that nothing happens. You know what I mean? Like, just that idea of focusing on your day can be so grounding and can really open up space for us to optimize again. You know, very clearing. Now, this new life card in reverse, when it shows up in the reverse position, it really is a time to acknowledge gently, very gently, to allow yourself and acknowledge this idea of something new emerging within your experience. And that it's okay to admit that you may not know exactly what that is yet, but that you're putting one foot in front of the other towards your day, not towards those large giant leaps, but just towards the day, so that you have a pattern in the day. You get up, you have your breakfast, maybe you do a little bit of exercise to move the energy around, whatever it is that it looks like, but just taking things one day at a time and being grounded in that day, to be here in the now, because that's where it all happens. The now is all we have, my friends. You know, the now is all we have, and that's where all of the potential is in the now. So one step at a time, one thing at a time, one moment at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself by trying to bite off more than you can handle in a day. That could be the big message for you in this reading. Now let's see if there's a question here. Ooh, that would be profound for you to reflect on. For Libra, what would be a profound question of reflection for Libra? What if everything is already working out? I like that for you, ladybug energy. What if everything is already working out? What if you didn't have to think about everything that's going to happen tomorrow or next week or next year or in the next 10 years? What if everything was already working out and all you had to focus on was the now? What if? Let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. The bottom of the deck is so good. Here it says, what do I want to carve out space for in my life? Dig. So this is the prairie dog, which makes me feel like you need to be grounded because it's a prairie dog digging in the earth, just like you need to dig in the earth to carve out space. What do you want to carve space out for in your life? Reflect only. This is not a question to start the engines revving right now. This is a question of reflection, just to try to ground you in your now. You know, what do you want to carve out space for? What would be meaningful for you? Right? Very interesting questions for you to reflect on. And as I cut the surrender deck, we see surrender, unhealthy relationships, and surrender defensiveness. So if this reading is triggering you to feel defensive right now, you may need to look at where there are relationships that serve you, like in the Three of Cups, and where there are relationships that are draining the life force right out of you. Very interesting. Let's see what card will come through. But just seeing those as I cut the deck is very interesting. Okay, that fell right on the floor. And you'll never guess which one it was. Can you guess? It was this one. Surrender unhealthy relationships. Let go of relationships that don't serve you, including emotionally unavailable people or those who present as being toxic. I don't like the idea of saying toxic people. I think that people have toxic behaviors or they have learned toxic patterns, but I don't like to call people toxic. I feel like that's really judgmental, but because we don't know why people are the way they are, only they know. So, or why people do the things that they do. But anyway, the message for you here is that you deserve to be surrounded by energy that feels like it optimizes you, not draining you. Not energy that feels like it doesn't serve you, or that it's emotionally unavailable to you, or that it doesn't contribute to your overall well-being. Libra, I'm going to leave it at that. I feel like this has given a lot of food for thought. Very interesting reading. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to reading for you again soon, my friends. I'm sending you so much love and encouragement. Take care, my friends.